Fourth place at Miami less than 4 weeks ago. An underdog to many, but in Youri Keulen's eyes, he came here to win, and win he has. The most impressive performance in Youri Keulen's young career.
Actually accelerated in what was considered his weakest discipline. He rode away from the world's best cyclists and put a minute of time into them in a very short space of time, and then held that, maintained that. But not only did he do that, then he maintained and extended his lead in the run, and finished here with, I think, only the second fastest run split. It's kind of the point where the outside world for the first time says, that's not arrogance, that's confidence. But in his mind, that's always all it's been. He's just got a firm self-belief, and that's what you need. You know, he's trying to get to the top of the world, and he's 25 years old. Yeah. You know, at that stage, to have that kind of self-belief is remarkable.
There's a lot more to come.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Fourth place for this young man.
The wild card athlete, and Youri Keulen.
I've been on the flex since flex zone.
Absolutely incredible. You look at him, look at that face. He has given it absolutely everything that he had today.
Feels like I don't have no flaws. Snakes in the grass, cut those off. Yo, squad shitty, my bros raw. No breaks, we go, go, go.
A stitch that's giving him a lot of discomfort at the moment and just not allowing him to get into his stride.
Cash money like 504. Ball like AD24. No sleep, need more. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Three things: luck, preparation, opportunity. And if those three come together on race day, everything is possible.
So it's like, I think it's consistent hard work over the years. That's the first thing. Second thing is getting expertise and knowledge in your team from the best people possible. So like, try to find and surround yourself with like people that actually want to make you a better athlete, but as well a better human, and that are capable of thinking outside of the box, doing something no one has ever done yet or is not doing often. And that makes me as well like constantly like searching for that, yeah, for that hidden success in the build up towards a race. I think one of my strengths as well is that I work with 3 different coaches. So like a bike coach, a swim coach and a run coach, and that really works for me. And that balance really gives me the opportunity to get everything out of each discipline, but the disciplines still fit into each other. And I think the last one is the mental aspect. Just sometimes checking in with someone that is not an athlete or a coach, but just someone that is a mental coach, and just asking like, hey, how are you actually doing? Can I help you with something? Is there something like bothering you that we need to talk about? Or sometimes the opposite, like after Singapore, he really was like, he let me be happy for like a week or 2, and then he put me right back on the ground and said like, okay, and now what is the next step, and how are we going to achieve that, and how are we going to handle the pressure or the media or the financial stress in a good way, or like, so I think it's like the majority of the story is, I think, the team around me with the right knowledge and expertise just keep showing up. Like, keep throwing yourself against the wall and come back all over and over. Youri Keulen is a guy from the Netherlands. little village called Spouwik. He's born with 27 weeks and was less than 1 kilogram of body weight as the oldest of a triplet. And I think I am someone who absolutely loves the dedication and the process towards what at this moment is my entire life, and that's triathlon. I think sometimes I'm not what people are hearing about me on social media or thinking about me on social media. I think if you get to know me like on a personal level, I hope you think that I'm a good bloke. Well, first of all, you always think like leading up to a race, like I'm gonna win this one, this is mine. Like you kind of start talking to yourself, like I'm ready for it. And then, but it's some kind of like a bit of a, that you always try to like boost your confidence by saying, oh, I'm gonna win this race, this one is mine. Like, but actually, when something like that happens, especially for the first time, you're nowhere there prepared for it. You're nowhere near like what is all coming at you and how to handle that. And so when something like that happens, it's really like you just kind of have to go with it. And like, so like, let's say I win Ibiza, then I know how to handle it now a bit better with everything that comes at me. So I think after Singapore my life changed. Let's say I win Ibiza, I don't think it will change that much anymore. But yeah, it has its pros and cons, and it, in a way it's nice, in another way it's as well like you kind of lose a bit of your how should I say, like going unknown to races is not possible anymore. And yeah, that's something I or we as a team need to adjust on. On the other hand, it gives me as well the confidence that I'm capable of winning big events. So yeah, that's the way you look at it. I'm very happy it happened, and I hope it's not the last time. Difficult. I have to be honest, it's not nice, but it was a very well choice. We really well considered, and after seeing the race, I think it was for me probably as well the best choice. Again, I think the most important and where every athlete has benefit of is when people watch the race. And when the race unfolds in such a dramatic sprint finish, it's good for everyone. So yeah, it was nice to see, and as well like the show the guys put on is always nice to watch. But yeah, when you're in the mix, you always want to race yourself. So I'm not a big triathlon fan myself, watching it when I can compete. On the other hand, it's amazing to see the sport like triathlon develop so much with the PTO T100 tour, but as well the Ironman Pro series. Like, people have critics about the broadcasting, but at least we are on the telly, we are broadcast, people are watching it, so it's a step ahead. And then the next step can be made maybe next year or in 2 years. So yeah. I was quite well prepared for London. I felt good in training. I think I missed like absolute sharpness on race day itself, and yeah, I made some mistakes. Like I lost nutrition, went a bit too hard out to and all of that on the highest level just makes it difficult to like get the result you aim for. On the other hand, coming home 9th, I don't know if that's so bad, but yeah, if you want to race, you want to at least compete for the podium each race. But yeah, this is what it is. Like, I was disappointed and sad, but as well, I know now that I have a long period of training coming up, and that was really needed after all the races in the beginning of the year. So yeah, it's not really much to say about it. Just one of those days.
Does it make you more excited for Ibiza?
Yeah, 100%. It kind of creates a bit of a reset for you again, and now as well, like, I have the time to reset and actually build something again, and not racing every 3 weeks, which is maybe not the best thing for me, but on the other hand, that's life and I want to compete.
So you did an interview after Singapore, lying on the bed,
Yes.
right out of the hospital. And a lot of people loved that and wrote some lovely comments about it. They're calling you a pretty down-to-earth, dedicated, motivated, very personable guy. What do you think about those comments? Are those some of the character traits you would ascribe to yourself, or how would you describe yourself?
Well, I'm not always like calm. Let's be honest, like, I have ADHD, and I think the word calm doesn't really fit to the character description of someone with ADHD. All jokes aside, but like, yeah, I think that would be the way I would describe myself, maybe. Like, just, yeah, like, show up on race day. Like, in London I didn't show up, and it doesn't matter. Like, no one talks about me, no one has an opinion about me in the press. So, like, besides winning, nothing really matters to the outside world, while everyone is having a story on race day itself. Well, I was lucky that I had the PTO to capture it the day after the race, and people could see the person I really am. But if I'm not making the podium, you won't probably see it. Because in a way it doesn't really matter. So that makes it a bit difficult for people to get to know the real, like, person in front of the camera or behind the sunglasses and the racing suit. So yeah, I am, I think, a person like that. On the other hand as well, having an interview on an occasion like that, always on the bat, always brings the relaxation out of it. So I'm just very happy I have a stable ongoing training period again for 2 months, and I think off the back of that you can actually really create something magical again, and that's what we aim for in Ibiza. PTO T100 races are never easy. They're always so, like, basically it's an Olympic distance, just a bit longer in, like, intensity. So yeah, you need to be prepared for, like, a lot of, like, pain and grit for what's coming on race day itself, but we still have time for that.
Do you remember the course from last year? You're gonna take anything from that?
Yeah, just make sure you're there on the bike, and it's a bloody long run. Like, still it's 18k, but like the laps on the course, like I think it's a 6 or 8 lap course, makes it very tough.
Do you have any tactics that you're gonna do differently for this race, having raced a few before now?
If I tell you that, I have to kill you.
Yeah.
No. Don't fear anyone. Just do my own thing and make sure I go as fast as possible from swim start to run finish. And then what I have in my mind I keep to myself, if you don't mind. At the moment I think it would be stupid not to think about this series. But actually in January I was not sure if I would be starting any PTO race. Now I've been the series leader with a win under my belt, so like it's a bit like unrealistic in a way, but it is the reality. So like this whole year so far feels a bit like a very good dream that I've like not been waking up from, which I'm very happy about. But I really try to see one step at a time because there's still quite a lot of racing left. And like I really try to aim for like Ibiza as the next step, get a good result, then the next step is Vegas, the next step is Dubai Grand Final, whatever comes after. So like I think you have to, because if you're gonna think about the overall classification now already, like I think if I would win Ibiza, I think I'm setting myself up for a pretty good shot to win the series. But like before that happens, I really need to focus on Ibiza in itself and aim for that one, just one step at a time.
All right, so you live in Girona, one of the most beautiful places to train. Do you pinch yourself sometimes that you live in this life?
Yeah, especially when my parents or family comes over. They really see this as a holiday, and I'm living in their holiday, which is a very nice feeling sometimes. But the thing is here, it just works. Like life just works here. Go to the pool, I have my places to do my rides, I have my runs. Like it all kind of makes sense to be here for me. And yeah, the weather is always kind of playing ball. So yeah, how should I say, like
Life's good?
It's a choice I made 3 years ago, and until this day I'm not regretting it at all. So I hope I can keep that up. It's quite cool, to be honest. Like, especially for my parents, it's a bit like strange because I left 3 years ago from home, and now all of a sudden people want to know a lot about me and asking questions in the gym and the supermarket. And like when I hear people talking about my parents talking about me, it's just like they're so proud of me, and yeah, it does something to me as well. Like it makes my heart full, and I'm very proud that I can make them proud. And about like fans at events, I always remind myself of when I was a little kid. I was a fan of a football club, and I went with my parents to a training of that football club, and I was standing there in my jersey from the club and my cap, and none of the players paid attention to me after the sessions, and I felt so gutted from it that I always remind myself when it comes to like fans or little kids asking questions, like about like little Youri there with his football shirt, feeling disappointed that no one came over to get a picture or shake my hand or give me a little tap on the hat. So I really do hope that, like, if there are fans listening or looking at me now, just come over or have a little chat. I don't bite. I always try to answer your questions, and I just really hope that I entertain you with my ability of doing triathlon in the day itself.
Rapid fire questions. Ready?
Alright.
Okay. Rolling.
Now you look like Stanley Tucci. You know him? On TikTok?
Oh, yeah.
Are we rolling?
Are we rolling?
We're rolling.
Okay. I'd like to make you an old fashioned.
He knows they're rolling.
Alright, Youri. Rapid fire questions. End the interview here. What's your go-to coffee?
Flat white.
What's your go-to gelato?
Vanilla banana mix.
Okay. TV shows, movies, which do you prefer?
I really do like the Harry Potter movies. I've been a bit obsessed with Friends. And like once in a while, I really do love a good romantic comedy. I'm not your typical tough dude, Sylvester Stallone kind of guy. I'm a bit of a soft touch.
What are you jamming to music-wise?
Oh, I have periods. So at this moment, I'm listening a lot to country. I don't know, I really like the vibe of it. And some of those dudes and women have like insane voices. But I always come back to like Stormzy, the rapper from the UK. He is like, I don't want to consider myself a fan, but I do listen a fair amount of time to him.
Describe T100 in 3 words.
Fast, exciting show.
What is your biggest ick in triathlon?
Complaining about others when your result is not so good.
You rather train alone or with teammates?
Train alone.
If you could wave a wand or you had a genie, you had $1 million, what would you fix? What would you improve? What would you do?
Do you mean like
For triathlon.
for triathlon? If I had like all the abilities in the world, I would really set up federations again. But like a proper pathway, like program to actually guide young athletes to becoming world champions or Olympic champions or close to that. Next to that, like a fair amount of a decent study that they can actually not have to make a sacrifice in the beginning of their career about like, do I want to be a triathlete or do I want to be have a career? Because I think sometimes in federations they decide that it can't go together, and then in the end of the day both get lost. So they're not getting that Olympic medal or close to it. They don't have a career that they actually like, and they put everything aside and have no social life. So I would really start building from that on again.
Stranded on an island with another T100 competitor, who would you choose?
Or David McNamee, because you can have actually a fun laugh with him. I have the feeling nothing is like scaring him. Like he's always like, yeah, it's alright. Or I would say Christian Blumenthal, because I'm pretty sure that we will get out of the island. Like he will keep on digging a hole until we are on the other side of the world. So like we will get off the island.
Okay, if you could steal a skill or someone's talents from the women's side, who would you trade places with?
Lucy Charles, the dominance in the swim. And the dominance in like riding alone on the bike. I think that is such a strong skill that you have. And then getting into T2 and like knowing like, okay, I'm gonna run my best, and if they catch me, they catch me. If not, then not. Like I had similar kind of idea in Singapore, but I only had it once. She is having that every single race, and she needs to be so strong and mentally like capable of doing that over and over and over again, like constantly making the race herself. That would really be like a skill that I'm like not jealous of, but I would really like to have.
Would you rather dominate the race or a sprint finish?
Wow. For the TV and for the audience, a sprint finish would maybe look better. For myself, I would rather dominate it, but I'm more sure when it comes to a sprint finish, I think. Because I'm very confident about my last 400 meters.
Let's go, buddy.